Good morning. Today is the first day in Holy Week, Monday. And our reading for this morning is taken from the first part of John's Gospel, chapter 12. It's the story of Mary anointing Jesus' feet. This is Mary, the sister of Martha, who were the sisters of Lazarus, who Jesus had raised from the dead. And in the story, Mary buys very expensive perfume called nard that she pours on Jesus' feet. And then Judas Iscariot is upset because he feels this is a great waste of money. He says that this money could have been rather used for the poor. And Jesus then reprimands him and says, no, that Mary has done a good thing. Leave her alone. Don't bother her. And he says these words that might sound quite harsh. He says, "You will always have the poor with you, but I will be with you for only a short while." So Mary pours this ointment, nard, which the Bible describes as a very expensive ointment. Now, I was in Italy last year, and I was at a little church, and I managed to buy a little vial of nard. And so I can tell you a little bit about what it smells like. It has a sweet, warm aroma, a very sweet aroma compared to some of the other essential oils that we get, and quite heady and almost intoxicating. I can almost imagine that if a whole jar of this had been broken out on Jesus' feet, that the room really would have been filled with this very warm, sweet, fragrant aroma that almost makes you feel, I don't want to say high, but kind of just sort of a bit heady and a bit intoxicated as you're experiencing this fragrance. So I'm sure that it made quite an impact, not only on Jesus, on whom Mary had anointed, but in fact on everybody in the house, because everybody definitely would have smelled this aroma and it would have lingered for quite a while. Jesus tells Mary and Judas that he will be with them for only a short while. And in a sense, what he is saying is that while he was here on earth, dwelling with us, living among us, it was right and appropriate that Mary should express her devotion to Jesus directly through buying and then breaking out this very expensive gift for him. But when he says, "The poor will always be with you, but I will be with you for only a little while," what this suggests is that when he is gone after this little while, then we should be breaking out these expensive gifts for those who are poor. Mary gave generously to Christ while he was here. And Jesus is saying that she should continue to give generously to those who are poor and marginalized, to those who are vulnerable or needy, to those who have less than us, to those who are struggling or challenged, to those who are marginalized on society, who are silenced and who don't have access to the kinds of resources that we might have. We should break out, in a sense, metaphorical jars of perfume for these people now that Jesus is no longer living among us in the flesh. Jesus himself, in just a few days, will pour himself out like a jar of very expensive perfume on the whole of humankind. And the fragrance of his offering will fill the entire universe. He will do for us what Mary did for him. And he calls us to do the same for the world around us. And so I want to encourage you, in the same way that Jesus is generous to us, in the same way that Mary was generous to him, let us be generous to those around us. Amen.